What's up? Welcome to Kurupi Speaks, a podcast where I talk to people in the underground about their music, my music, and art as a whole. You can find all the songs we talk about in my Spotify playlist, Escape from Underground. Today we're talking about Angular with Luxtren.
I hit it angular.
I wanted to jump on Angular since we just dropped that and everything, and talk about, I guess, like breaking it down from like making it and stuff like that, and like where it came for you to like make that beat.
I just wanted to make a beat. Like, I wanted to make a beat for you, and I wanted to make something that was like hard and could really groove. And I just like busted out that chord progression. I use that chord progression all the time. It's a super simple, like, oh, take this chord and move it down a whole step. Like, movement that's found in like stuff from jazz music to like French impressionist music. It could be found throughout like music. It's a super simple chord progression that I just threw together in like an hour.
Oh, okay.
But the real trick and the real sauce of the whole like song is like the way the guitar sounds and like the relationship to the drums and the bass's rhythm, which is totally like weird and angular. Like it's sort of the whole point of the song is that like none of the like the guitar is the most simple part, but the rest of the song is coming at like they're like the drums are coming at its job from a very different point of view. Like, yeah, it's very like conventional, I suppose, but in like like in the B section of or whatever, or the bridge, I guess you would call it. You know when like the chops start happening in the drums, and like the chords are like lasting longer. The point there was to really blur the lines of like where the measure is and like where beat one is. I really wanted people to feel like everything was kind of starting to feel lopsided.
It's funny that you say that because I feel that with when writing that first verse, or that those first two verses are kind of, I guess it's just one long verse, but like I kind of got lost in the middle of it, and I just kind of, I don't know, I just kind of like finessed it and just like tried to figure it out. I was like, okay, well I can't do like full bars like this, so I'm just gonna like break it apart. Like instead of counting by fours, I was like, I'm just gonna count by little twos until I reach that, until I can recognize it's a one again, and then I'll go from there. That's why I'm like, I'm fired, like that.
That is. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like that right there is called good musicianship. My theory teacher would be very happy to hear that.
That's good to hear, because it was honestly just, I was like, all right,
yes.
just follow the drums.
Yeah, no, that's
funny.
something I try to do. I always try to have like a pocket in there. That's the guitar's job, honestly. The guitar is there to just like maintain this rhythm. And be like the most sane aspect of the whole song. And I chose that. Honestly, okay, it's funny. The timbre of that guitar is specifically modeled a little bit after Green Day's Brain Stew.
Oh, okay.
Like the way that guitar sounds, specifically like the muted parts, like what is it called? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The guitar
like
scratches.
The palm mutes. Yeah.
The palm mutes, yes, yeah.
For sure. I'm picturing it in my head right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I could totally see it now that I'm thinking about it. That's crazy. I was gonna say, for me, it was just kind of like hearing that for the first time with the guitar and stuff. It just felt kind of like, almost like quicksandy. It felt like it was, especially just with the groove and everything. It like sucked me in, and it took me to a very specific time and place. So like it was just very easy to just write off from that headspace. When I heard it, it's funny because like you do a lot of chops and like trippy shit, but like, and sometimes like the beats you send me, like the first thing that pops up in my head is like, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna do like some weird shit on some like Death Grips type shit, or like on some like if it was a music video, I'm like crying and screaming in front of the camera, like, but like for this song, it even with all like the trippy like chops and stuff, like honestly, it really just took me to like summertime, and it really just took me to like being in high school and like skating with friends and like not having like jobs and not having any money to like buy stuff and being hungry, but like being out in public and stuff.
Yeah,
And that's like
it's
where
really
it took
the,
me.
it's the song that you play when you hang out with your friends and you're like being the shit out of people.
Exactly.
don't know.
Exactly. I do that all the time.
That I remember no change in my pockets, but I'm skating with a smile. Sneaking out, cause she text, come and stay for a while with a speaker. That summer heat, the freaks freestyle. Geeking over special alerts, the beats pile up the CDs when we were using MP3s and line 6s. Sticking them in 2/6 strings in Audacity, but now we know that shit's weak. We ain't peak, we've been speeding up like 90 degrees. Rhyme scheme, bread and butter, cause it's slick.
If you had to describe Angular in a color, like as a song, what color would you describe it? Because when I first heard it, I think that's also like where it took me to summer, and I was thinking of things like that. Because I feel like the guitar like is very like, if I had to describe it as a color, it's orange, like, and the whole beat just felt very orange and yellow, and it just felt like sitting on the curb, like
In the summer.
waiting for the paletero to come and like get some ice cream. Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that's where it took me.
Oh, I hate that I have to pick one color, but I love that you asked this
multiple
question
colors.
because me and Sav had a whole discussion on this, and it has to do with the artwork. Actually, we were talking about it like for a while, and I realized that we wanted to reference like the lyrics itself in like the cover art, and we were like, oh, what if we did like. We had a really great idea where it was you and me in a Kama Sutra pose.
Dude, honestly, that'd be so fire. Oh my god, I would have been so down for that.
Oh, I was worried you wouldn't have. I was worried it might have been like a little too out of pocket. But
no. No, I would have like taken it and ran with it. I would have posted that everywhere. Oh my god, that would have been so amazing.
Next time, now that I know that you're completely
Next
down
time.
for something like that, it's all bets are off. Like I'm gonna push the boundaries. I'm gonna push the limits here.
What's the most you ever lost on a coin toss? Sir, the most you ever lost on a coin toss.
Where does the sample in the beginning come from?
It's from one of my favorite movies. It's a Coen Brothers movie called No Country for Old Men, and it has Javier Bardem and Josh Brolin in it. And it's this movie. It's like a cat and mouse movie where Javier Bardem is chasing Josh Brolin because Josh Brolin has like a suitcase full of fucking money, and it's all in Texas, and it's like crazy. It's a really good movie, and that specific scene, Javier Bardem plays this like psychopathic like serial killer with like a bowl cut and a cattle prod that he kills people with. And
Jeez, what a character.
right? I know. He's at a gas station like getting gas, and like he's buying like this. He ate like this candy bar, and he like drops the wrapper right there. And he's like he asks the cashier what's the most he ever lost in a coin toss, because when he kills people he tosses a coin before he does it to decide whether or not he's actually going to kill the person. So he's basically Two-Face.
Damn. That's crazy. I did not have that in mind at all. Well, I mean, I didn't have it in mind.
Honestly, it just works for the aesthetic.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I honestly, like, for whatever reason, I thought it was from an anime. I don't know why. But then I was, like, kind of thought about it, and, like, is it really from an anime? Because I feel like if Armando samples from something from an anime, I feel like they would use the original, like, dub. They wouldn't use the English dub. Like, that's kind of where my head was at with it.
It's funny that you say that, because I did use the original. I did use the English dub of Champloo for 22.
That's right. I remember you telling me that.
But for
Yeah.
as a little bit of like a sneak peek for my project, I am using original sub of Evangelion.
Back to the color question. I was gonna say, what colors would you describe your other music? Like the song you dropped with Evan Sandine.
Oh my god, Slow Dance Till I Die. If I was to describe that in a color, I would definitely say blue. Like blues, grays, just like very depressive and like sad colors, you know. Because I wrote that, fuck, like over a year ago. I wrote that beat over a year ago. And I had been sitting on it for like a while.
Mm-hmm.
Just like trying to figure out what I was going to do with it and stuff. And I wrote it when I was in a very like sensitive headspace. I was just very in my feels that day.
I see. I feel like with the instrumental, like for me, it has the like similar colors too. I feel like it's a lot of muted. I think muted is the word. There's a lot of like dark blues and reds and purples. I feel like it, especially with just like how, like the groove and pocket of the song and how like that like, is it like a tom or something like the dum 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 noise like
yeah, that's a tom
it's
drum.
very.
It's from. Yeah, it's a tom drum. It's from the tom drum, and it makes sense that you would say muted colors because it's very much like a very like. Looking back at like how life was at a certain point and how life was with somebody and just realizing that you're just a moment, just go back to it. Stop coming back here, leave me alone so I can slow dance till I die. That last part's not actually the lyrics, but
yeah That's crazy.
Evan really came through with that song. I was genuinely impressed with that shit. Like, I was expecting him to just sing, but he brought a lot more to the table.
Yeah, most definitely. I honestly had no idea who it was. At first I was like, is that Armando? Could that be Armando? Like, nah, like, who could that be? And it was just a mystery rapper. I had no idea. That's why I was like also so, I think I was like building up like imagination in my head of like who it could be. And it was just like I was almost like building like this like fantasy story in my head of this up and coming person I've never heard of, or someone who I didn't know, which actually ended up being true. Like someone who I knew who I didn't know was rapping, and it was just like the excitement of like, who is this? Like, where is this coming from? I got like 2-ish more questions. Well, this one's kind of broad. I wrote it down because I feel like I know you could pull from all 3 of these, but it is a very broad question that could be going on for like hours. But what influences from like video games and anime and movies do you pull?
Honestly, I pull from, out of all 3 of those, I probably pull from video games, like the heaviest. And I say that, like, and when I mean by the heaviest, I probably mean like 90%. I played a lot of video games growing up, and I would always get the songs stuck in my head. I was like all the Sonic songs for like the Sonic games, like Sonic Heroes and shit.
Yeah.
Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2. Like, I memorized all the songs, and I would just like remember how they were structured and shit. And eventually, with like Pokemon and stuff like that, I would just like internalize those songs too. And so like a lot of my influences musically, like from video games, is like in a structure of video game music, and it's and its purpose, honestly. Because when I started off writing music, I actually wanted to write video game music. That's what I was studying. That's what I was in school for.
Wow, I didn't know.
Like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna learn music theory so I can write really good like video game music. And then I realized I just wanted to perform instead.
No, honestly, like performing feels so good. But that's crazy that you say that, because like, I've been so tapped into like very like fast paced like video game music, like from like stuff in my childhood, and I think that's why like a lot of times when you send me stuff, I'm just like, all right, like, I can very easily connect and put myself into this. Like, literally the other day I was like, man, I want some like weird drum and bass, like with some rock influence stuff, like on some like Sonic Adventures 2 type shit, and I made it. And like, I think that's just the wave I've been kind of on right now. But just like really colorful, like fast production. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense now, like why I feel like I can really easily attach myself to your music because I see like it pulls from the same like it's like nostalgic without it being the actual source material. Like it's like it pulls from the same like headspace that I was as a kid. Like it makes me think of like my parents coming home from like Little Caesars Pizza and I'm playing Tony Hawk on the PS2.
That warms my heart to hear. Thank you for that.
I think I'm just trying to capture that child. Like I literally put on my story the other day. I was like, if anyone has like a Super Monkey Ball 2 like type like sample pack, send it my way. Like because I'm literally trying to chase that vibe. I'm not
you just gotta sample it yourself.
Like, that's where I've been at. I know like there's a Louis Vert song that samples a song from Super Monkey Ball 2, and there was like this YouTuber who like interviewed like the dude who made the beat. And they're like, so like, did they come at you? Like, did the companies? I don't know. Is it Nintendo? I forget who's the one that made Super Monkey Ball. But I know they're just like, did they come at you? I think it's Sega. Sega, that's right. It is Sega because Super Monkey Ball is like in the Sonic racing games. But basically like they're like, did they come at you? Did they sue you? Like, did anything happen? And then he was like, to be honest, I don't think they know. So like, can we not talk about it? Like. And they just left it at that, and I was like, damn.
Oh my god.
That's so funny.
I don't even want to talk about samples. I like want to talk about samples, but I also don't want to talk about samples because I'll be in a lot of trouble.
I was gonna say, let's talk about the music video a little bit. I don't even know where to start. I didn't necessarily write a question. I just know I wanted to talk about the music video. But I mean, yeah, we got one coming next week for Angular, and we literally just shot it with an iPhone.
Yeah, we literally just shot it with an iPhone.
Santa Rosa. And
my partner was there with us. It was a vibe, honestly. I had a lot of fun shooting that.
Most definitely. I've been doing a lot of that sort of stuff, especially with COVID and everything. I mean, not to say without COVID, I'd be like going to like some like professional film studio or anything. Nothing like that. But like definitely it's been just like pick up a phone and like let's just get this shit going. And it's pretty fun to just like get shots like that.
Yeah. The editor, Dauntless, right? They really got that shit like elevated.
I'm just so psyched on like the trippy shit that she does on like there's certain parts where like you chop the beat and so she'll chop like the actual clip and so it'll be you playing guitar and it'll like have you stuttering on the guitar and stuff like that for like that certain feel, and it's fire.
I saw shit like that and I was like, oh my god, this
very
is
excited for
next level.
And the framing and the colors chosen, like it's pretty good. I'm pretty excited. Yeah. Anything you want to plug in or talk about for the future, what you're trying to do?
I have an album in the works right now. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram, Luxtren, Luxtren. Stream 22, stream Slow Dance Till I Die, and stream Angular. And my pronouns are they, them.
Yeah, ay, I hit it angular, Kama Sutra when I hang with her, lay with her, like tangled shoelaces hanging curved, quick to hit shit different, that's my aim with words, versatile shit, I'm like, fuck your lame ass verse, angular, Kama Sutra when I hang with her, lay with her, like tangled shoelaces hanging curved, quick to hit shit different, that's my aim with words, versatile shit, I'm like, fuck your lame ass verse.